Dear Pisces, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the transits that we're going to have in the month of August. It is quite a busy month. We have two full moons in August, one of them at the very beginning and one of them at the very end in your sign, and we have a new moon somewhere in the middle. Venus is retrograde all month, so let's begin. I'm going to start by talking about the major transits first, okay, and then I'm going to slowly zoom into more personal planet transits. So let's start with the big picture. The nodes recently changed signs, so they entered your second house and they left your third house of communication, and now they entered your financial house. So Pisces, financial eclipses are going to be happening for you. This is good. Maybe you'll start earning more money, and maybe you'll start earning money in a new way, okay? So the thing about the nodes is that as soon as they entered, they started making a square to Pluto in your what house? 11th house. Yeah. So, and Pluto is on the 29th degree, and the nodes are also on the 29th degree. So the critical energy, don't you also feel as though some things are like almost at the end, like some critical point? Yeah, I feel like everybody's walking on needles around this time. Yeah, anyway, Neptune has been in your sign for 12 years. It still has 2 more years, I think, in your sign. Yeah, and I wanted to mention that. So Pisces, Neptune is currently in the late degrees of Pisces, like 25th to the last degrees. So those Pisces who were born in mid-March, you will be experiencing the Neptune conjunction to your Sun. So this can be a very confusing time, dear Pisces. Like very confusing. So do be prepared to be confused, as if you are like walking through fog, lack of clarity, like lack of direction. Maybe you are confused, like about your identity, maybe even like dissolution of your ego, because Neptune dissolves. So I would suggest using this energy to focus on spirituality. You can get like divine inspiration because Neptune rules that, and since it's in your sign and Neptune rules you, it's like double strong. Like you can get inspired, dear Pisces. So don't be afraid if you feel confused. Focus on your spirituality. It's an excellent time for that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention for Pisces. Now, on the other hand, we also have Saturn in your sign. It recently entered your sign, like, I mean, not recently, in March. But anyway, so the presence of Saturn, I guess, can still keep you in touch with reality. Saturn grounds us, yeah, so I don't think you'll be completely, like, lost out there. You will still have some sort of, like, touch with reality because of that Saturn. It grounds us, okay? What else? Uranus has been shaking things up in your third house, siblings. So unexpected stuff, maybe about your siblings. Maybe they're doing some things that are quite interesting, okay? Or maybe you yourself expressing yourself in unconventional ways, because Uranus is technology and third house is communication. Yeah, I think it would be it is a great time for you guys to do blogging stuff. What was I gonna mention? Jupiter is also in your third house this year, until next May. So it can give like optimistic thoughts, because third house is thoughts and Jupiter is optimism. Yeah, and it can also be good for writing. Yeah, those of you who are thinking of writing a book, this can be an excellent time, because Jupiter can give us lots of words. Yeah, it is highly unlikely to experience writer's block when Jupiter is in our third house. Yeah, so use that energy. Next, I think I've mentioned all the major transits, and now we can focus on the more inner planet transits. On the very first day of August, we have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th degree. So that is in your 12th house. Yeah, so 12th house and your work house. Hidden house, relaxation house, recuperation house, opposed by the work house, health house. Yeah, so those Pisces who maybe were having some health issues, maybe after this full moon you will finally recuperate. Yeah, you will be done recuperating. Others, maybe those of you who were on vacation, yeah, because the 12th house is like rest, and now you will come out of that rest and go back to work, the 6th house. Yeah, that's one of the possible interpretations, or maybe something yeah, like a rest, as I mentioned. Okay, so the thing about this full moon is that it is making a T-square to Jupiter. Both of the luminaries making a square to Jupiter. And the thing about Jupiter is that it tends to go overboard. Whatever Jupiter touches, it magnifies it. So if it's something good, it makes it big. If it's something bad, it makes it big. Jupiter just doesn't know when to stop or how to discriminate, okay? So when it's involved with the full moon, it can make our emotions over the top. And especially we have that sun in Leo, which is a dramatic sign, so people can be overly dramatic, overly emotionally all over the place. So be prepared. You yourself might feel that way too. So be patient with yourself and with others. The effect of the full moon should last 4 days before and after the full moon, okay? Another thing on that day is that Mercury and Mars in Virgo in your 7th house is going to be making an opposition to Neptune in your 1st house, and that can no, Saturn in your 1st house. So that can give pessimistic thoughts, so do watch out. If you feel super pessimistic around that full moon, please remember that this is temporary. It's not going to last for a long time. Yeah, thankfully after that full moon there's not much happening in the skies, and on August 8th last quarter moon. Yeah, the reason why I'm mentioning the last quarter moon, even though they're like not really super significant, is because it marks the start of a week before the new moon, and that time, that week, is usually good for wrapping things up, finishing things up that started with the Cancer new moon in July, okay? And also it is a good time to rest, get energy for the new moon, okay? Another thing you can do is prepare things for the next new moon. Like for example, last time, the week before the new moon, I was preparing documents and filling out an application for something important, and I mailed them 2 days before the new moon, and so by the time the new moon occurred, they received my documents and application. So that's how you can use that week. But otherwise, like, allow yourself to rest. Don't waste energy trying to start new things. It's not gonna get off from the ground, okay? And usually August is, I mean, not usually, this August is not a good time to start new things. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? On August 13th, the sun is gonna be conjunct Venus retrograde on the 20th degree of Leo in your 6th house. So this is important. It's gonna start a new phase, a new chapter regarding your work routine or health or pets. Okay, so those 4 themes, those are 6th house matters, and it's gonna start a new phase because the sun and Venus retrograde do not make a conjunction in your 6th house every year. This happens once every 8 years. Yeah, so this is important. So for the past 9 months, Venus has been an evening star. We could see her in the evening sky after the sunset. But now, after this conjunction, Venus is gonna emerge as the morning star, so we will be able to see her very early in the morning, right before the sunrise. Yeah, so it marks a new phase, a new start. So Pisces, that is work for you. Maybe something new about your work. Your health matters. Maybe you'll start a new diet. Maybe you'll stop eating sugars. Yeah, or maybe you become a vegetarian after that, okay? Or maybe it will be in very subtle ways. You might not even notice it, but in hindsight, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's when I started doing it, okay? Does that make sense? Next, on August 16th, we have a new moon in Leo, again, in your 6th house. So Venus, Moon, Sun are in your 6th house. So a lot of focus on your work, on your routine, on your health, okay? It might be a good time to go for the yearly checkup on your health in like the hospital, okay? It might be an excellent time for that. So the thing about this new moon is that both of the luminaries are going to be making an exact square to Uranus in Taurus. This is important, especially because the square is exact. So Uranus will be throwing some surprises, something unexpected, okay? Maybe suddenly, yeah, like some sudden thing at work, some new project maybe, or some unexpected thing about the project that you've already been working on. Now you have to do something else about that project. That can be one of the possible interpretations of this. But thankfully, Venus is still close to the luminaries. Remember, the Sun and Venus were conjunct 3 days before this new moon. So Venus is still close. And I hope and I think Venus will be like a saving grace. Whenever Venus is involved, there's usually nothing super bad. Okay? Another interesting thing about this new moon is that there will be a kite aspect in the sky. Remember that Mars and Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn. Now, this time they're going to be making an opposition to Neptune. And Uranus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn, both in earth signs, they are friends with both Pisces and Virgo. So they will be acting as mediators for those conflicting energies, for those opposing energies. Yeah, so this should be good. There is some sort of like balance about that new moon. So I think this new moon is going to bring an interesting month. Yeah, despite that square to Uranus, the conjunction of Venus is still good. Next, on August 21st, there will be an exact square between Venus retrograde in Leo and Jupiter in Taurus. Now, normally squares are tense aspects, but this time we have the involvement of like two benefics. Venus and Jupiter, they're both good planets. So even when they're in a bad aspect, nothing super bad happens. So the way this square might manifest is that you might overspend. Because Venus is finances and Jupiter is optimism, overdoing things. So yes, and especially because Venus is retrograde, our confidence, self-esteem might be low. Yeah, because Venus rules that as well, self-esteem. So in order to feel good, you might want to go on a shopping spree, to do some shopping therapy, but please don't splurge, don't max out your credit card, don't buy new things, because Venus rules fashion as well. And when we buy things when Venus is retrograde, we won't like them after Venus turns direct. That really happened with me. I barely wore those clothes. I regretted buying them. So in order for you to avoid this, what you can do is you can spend on experiences rather than on materialistic things in order to feel good about yourself, okay? On August 21st. Next, on August 23rd, the Sun is going to enter your relationship house. It's going to enter Virgo. And on the same day, Mercury is going to station retrograde in your 7th house, again in Virgo. So Mercury is going to be retrograde from August 23rd until September 22nd for a month. Yeah, so, and Mercury, you guys know, is famous for miscommunication, misunderstanding, mishaps. Okay, so make sure you understand people, what they are saying, or make sure they understand what you said. Okay, and then make sure you read your email twice before sending it. Make sure you attach that file to it. Make sure you send the mail to the correct address. Or even when you are ordering things online, make sure you double check the address. One time I ordered the pizza online and I forgot to check the town. So the address seemed correct and I just clicked it, and apparently it was some neighboring town with the same kind of address. So yeah, somebody ended up getting a free pizza from me. Yeah, don't make this happen to you, okay? That is Mercury retrograde stuff. And since it's in your relationship house, though, there might be some revision, some important talk in your relationships, okay? Yeah, and the thing about Mercury retrograde is it's at its peak confusing phase, right when it turns retrograde and when it's about to turn direct. So watch out. When it's usually in the middle of the retrograde phase, it's not that confusing, but still, it's Mercury retrograde. And also, another thing is, Mercury retrograde is not a good time to buy electronics. I know August is a time when we are about to go back to school. A lot of people buy a new laptop, a new phone, or a new printer, whatever. So if you do need to buy those things, please buy them in the beginning of August. That's when Mercury is still direct. But if you have to buy it at the end of August, please make sure you keep the receipt or buy an insurance with it. That way, if something goes wrong, you can have it repaired or you can have it replaced for free. Okay? Because if you buy things when Mercury is retrograde, there is something that is going to be wrong with that thing. Yeah. Maybe not right away, but later on. Yeah, so in order to avoid that, please buy insurance with it or keep the receipt. Yeah. Next, on August 27th, Mars is going to leave your relationship house and it's going to enter your 8th house. So for the past 2 months, Mars had been in your relationship house, so it might have been causing some bickering with your partners, especially during Venus retrograde, or some other people might have been more argumentative, more aggressive towards you. Yeah, it's unpleasant when Mars is in like the 7th house. It makes other people aggressive. Okay. Now, when it enters your 8th house, it's a great time for intimacy. Mars traditionally ruled the 8th house, so it can be great for intimate stuff. Yeah. And so Mars is going to be in your 8th house from August 27th until October 12th. On August 28th, Uranus is going to station retrograde until January 27th, 2024, in your 3rd house. Now, Uranus retrograde, we don't really feel it because it's an outer planet, it's far away. And plus, it retrogrades every year for like half of the year, so it's very subtle. We don't feel it. I mean, it doesn't mean we're not gonna feel it. It's just it's gonna be very subtle. You are still going to be reviewing 3rd house matters, but in very subtle, subconscious ways. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this retrograde is that it's gonna join Venus, Mercury, well, Uranus itself, and then Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. So 6 planets are going to be retrograde by the end of August. That's like more than half of the planets in our solar system if we count the moon and the sun as planets. Okay, so that's a lot. It's going to feel like everybody's walking in like slow motion, so to speak. But I mean, it's not really going to happen that way, but that's how it's going to feel in our minds. Yeah, so August is not a good time to start anything new, not even after the new moon. Nope. Especially because Venus is also retrograde the entire month. Yeah, so instead use all those retrograde energies to review, to make adjustments to the things that are already in progress, to make some like tweaks, I guess. Like yeah, so it's a great energy for that. Something that is already in motion. But don't waste energy trying to start anything new because it's gonna require a Herculean effort and it's gonna like progress at a snail pace. Not very rewarding. Also, don't start any business in August because why do we do business? We do business to make money, and Venus rules money. So imagine a business that has an invisible Venus in its DNA. That doesn't make sense. So don't start business in August. Wait until October, because even though Venus turns direct in September, it's still going to be in its shadow phase. Yeah, so it's not a great time. Like, wait until October to start business. Okay, and now the most interesting part, the full moon in your sign. We all get only 1 full moon per year. Okay, sometimes 2 maybe, but normally we only get 1 full moon in our sign. What was I gonna say? This time, the full moon is going to be conjunct Saturn in your sign, in the early degrees of Pisces. So those Pisces who were born in when? February? Yeah, February Pisces. You guys are going to feel this the most, this full moon the most. And so the interesting thing about this full moon is that, you know, the moon and Pisces, you guys are very watery, very emotional. And then Saturn is very dry. It rules Capricorn. So I feel like we are going to be emotional. Yes, full moons make us emotional, but we're going to be able to control it or even repress it, bottle it up. Yeah, or even if we do cry, we might not cry as much as we would, I guess. Yeah, because Saturn rules emotions. I mean, it rules winter, so emotions are going to be like snow. Snow is water, but still it's frozen. Yeah, that's how it's going to feel. And this full moon shouldn't be as bad as the one that we had in early August because it doesn't make as many harsh aspects. But yeah, so please be aware. Still, be patient around this time, and also it's an important time for your relationships. Some sort of culmination or fruition, understanding, clarity regarding your relationship matters. Okay, my battery is running out on my phone, so I apologize for hurrying up. But anyway, so this is it for August, dear Pisces. I hope you have a pleasant August despite all of those retrogrades, especially Venus retrograde. I hope there will be some new phase in your work matters, in your health matters. Okay, when the Sun and Venus are conjunct, and I hope this full moon brings pleasant fruitions, pleasant culminations. Okay, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in September. And thank you for watching. Bye.